All praises, honor, and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Racha Kwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and salutations to all you sincere Akiam. And this is your brother Bawan back again with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Racha Kwadash. All praises and glory is due. And this is not what angels look like. This is not an angel, and that will be the title of the video. These are not angels, right? These are not angels. And you have this thing that's going around recently, quote unquote, biblically accurate angels, where you have these so-called angels that are basically in the form of either, let's look through some of them, and this is what I'm talking about right here. If you search in biblically accurate angels and you do an image search, you see creatures like this, an eye with a bunch of wings, right, and different other forms of creatures like this one, for example. And basically this video is just to say that these are not angels, and especially these are not angels as described in the scriptures, okay? Because you had some bug out. So, and this is the one I always usually this is the one I'm always this is the one I was looking for, right? Like I was saying, because you have some bug outs, right? Some actual demons that somehow took that basically ran with an image or an idea of what the angels in the scriptures look like and just ran with that, and that's where you get this idea or this drawing of so-called biblically accurate angels, right? And this is actually born from the idea of your Catholic fables, because that's exactly where these biblically accurate angels come from. Because one of my main gripes with Wakitaki plantation Christianity, all right, it's fine. You want to say that, oh, the Hebrew Israelites aren't the so-called Negroes, Latinos, or Native American Indians, completely going off of course, but you want to say that, you want to maintain that, oh, those aren't who the Hebrew Israelites are. But if you ask them who the real Israelites are, they'll either tell you that it's the small hearts, which is off of course, because you know that they are not the actual Israelites but rather converts. It is even in their history, right? Or they will tell you that, well, they don't know who the actual biblical Israelites are today. Then why is it that you have so much Greco-Roman imagery within within Christianity, right? Within plantation Christianity? And the reason why is simple. Plantation Christianity is a Edomite religion based off this truth, okay? That's exactly what plantation Christianity is. Just like Judaism, just like Islam, these are various religions that are based off this truth, but ultimately were created for the heathen in order to graft themselves into this truth, as Islam was created for the Arabs. Basically, Judaism was for the small hearts and Christianity is for Esau Edom, right? In order to graft themselves into this truth and to make themselves to be the chosen. And that's why you see so much Greco-Roman imagery all over plantation Christianity. And what I mean by Greco-Roman imagery all over plantation Christianity is that whenever you picture the Most High, whenever you picture Lord Yahweh, right, whenever you picture the angels, right, the ones that aren't quote unquote biblically accurate, whenever you picture heaven and basically anything that has to do with plantation Christianity, what you always see are Roman Edomites, okay, rather than, right, Middle Eastern or West Asian, as is the proper way of saying it, West Asian men, okay, because of course Esau Edom understands that in order for you to put the scriptures in its actual context, being that they were created by West Asian, or as Esau would call them, Arab men, you would have to go back to the exact time in which the scriptures were written and in which our Lord Yahweh was on the earth. And the thing is this: no matter how you want to depict our Lord Yahweh, if you are depicting him in his true representation, he will always look like a Negro, a so-called Negro. Even if we look at the accurate depictions of JC, and let's look at some of them, right? Let's look at some of them. Yeah, bringing up the okay, let's look at some. Yeah, this one for example, right? This is the one that a bunch of historians were saying that, oh, if JC was alive today, this is what he would actually look like. But yet the modern depiction that Esau Edom uses, right, all over the churches and all over the world is so is a complete stark contrast to what anything that you see here, right? And even in the subheading, scientists have recreated the real face of JC, and look at this. Look at the stark contrast between the modern accepted image of JC, like this is not Aloja Hawashai, and the ones that scientists claim is the accurate one. This looks closer to the so-called Negro, right, than an Edomite. Okay, this can even pass as the so-called Negro, considering that it is in West Asia, which is basically the Middle East, right? And you have, and you had, and you still have so-called Negroes, right, or at least Negroid-looking people in the Middle East. Of course, Esau won't ever admit to that, and even these West Asians as well won't ever admit to that. But you had them in the Middle East, right? But the idea basically is this: you have a Romanization, right? A Roman aesthetic that has been put in modern Christianity, even though it is supposed to be at the very least a Middle Eastern, right, religion. And that shows you that modern Christianity is just completely off, right? That's completely It's completely off the mark. It's completely off the mark. It's not even based in anything true or scriptural, right? So now, going back to the angels, right? When you have these biblically accurate angels, you have it under the lens of the Roman Catholic Church, which is why we consistently tell you Wakitaki Christians that you are all still under the Roman Catholic Church, even though you call yourselves Protestants, right? You are still under the Roman Catholic Church because you are still following the doctrines of the Roman Catholic Church. The majority of the doctrines that these Christian churches have, and all these implantation Christian churches have, was given to them by the Roman Catholics, so they are still under the Roman Catholic Church. As long as you identify as a Christian, you still follow the doctrines of the Roman Catholic Church. You are still under it ideologically. Now, what I wanted to do first is I wanted to get the different classifications of angels according to Esau Edom, right? So here you have, the seraphim, the cherubim, the thrones or ophanim, and other forms of angels. And this is of course based on, once again, Catholic fables. Okay, and let me get this preset right here. So this is the book of 1 Timothy 1 verse 4. Never give heed to fables and endless genealogies which minister questions rather than godly edifying, which is in faith so do. Right, so let me get another precept real quick. Okay. Let me just leave it at that. Let me just leave it at that. That's basically all I wanted to get. Okay. And this is an example of a Christian fable. Okay. But in this case, we are going to edify using this fable because we are going to show you exactly how the angels are depicted in the scriptures, and not by how Esau Edom, right, the so-called red man, the devil himself, depicts the angels. So let's get this first and foremost. So this is the book of Psalm 68 verse 17. The chariots of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, are 20,000, even thousands of angels. Yahweh is among them, as in Sinai in the holy place, right? And the angels, of course, represent, the messenger. And let me see if I can get that word in the Hebrew, right, for angel. Because I've actually forgotten the word in the Hebrew, angel. Marakab, as I already know that Marakab in the Hebrew is chariots, right? But the word angel is let's see what is being used here. Hold on. Malak. Malak. That's not. Oh, hold on. Malak. Malaak. Okay, Malaak. Or Malaak. I know what has been used here is Malaak. Hold on.
Strong's H 4397. Malach. Malach.
Malaak. Messenger representative. Messenger angel. The theophanic angel, right? Because the word for angel in the Hebrew, right, is messenger. Okay, messenger. So the angels represent the messengers of the Most High, however, Hashem Yahushai, right? And the angels do not appear or come looking like these so-called biblically accurate angels, okay? But rather, how the angels are described in the scriptures are still as a so-called Negro, men, okay? Because the angels do come as men in the scriptures. Let me give an example of that. The example that I'll use is Balak, the son of Peor. Let's get that. Not the donkey and ass. And here it is. So let me go to that real quick. So here it is. Okay, it's not Balak, it's Balaam. So Numbers 22 verse 22. And the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai's anger was kindled because he went, and the angel of Yahweh stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his two servants were with him. Right, and this is of course referring to Balaam, the son of Peor. I believe that he was that basically he was sent or commissioned by the king of Moab at the time, Balak, to curse our people when we were coming out of the land of Egypt, right? And this is when he was going to meet Balak, the king of Moab, in order to go and lay those curses upon our people. So now, Numbers 22 verse 23. And the ass saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way, and his sword drawn out of his hand. And the ass turned aside out of the way and went into the field, and Balaam smote the ass to turn her into the way. But the angel of Yahweh stood in a path of the vineyards, a wall being on this side and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of Yahweh, she thrust herself onto the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, and he smote her again. And the angel of Yahweh went further and stood in a narrow place. There was no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of Yahweh, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with his staff. Right, so basically, while they were going on this journey, an angel came down and was basically trying to intercept them on the journey, right? And you had Balaam basically forcing his way through up until they got to this dead end. And now, the ass with nowhere to go, just had to hold on and stop right there. So let's continue reading. And Yahweh opened the mouth of the ass, and she said unto Balaam, What have I done unto thee, that thou hast smitten me these 3 times? And Balaam said unto the ass, Because thou hast mocked me. I would there was a sword in my hand, for now would I kill thee. And the ass said unto Balaam, Am not I thine ass, upon which thou hast... And let's just jump to the main point. Now, Numbers 22 verse 31. Then Yahweh opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way, and his sword drawn in his hand, and he bowed down his head and fell flat on his face. And the angel of Yahweh said unto him, Wherefore hast thou smitten thine ass these 3 times? Behold, I went out to withstand thee, because thy way is perverse before me. Right, and this angel basically came as a man, okay, and not just any man, because this is a time before, or rather I should say, and not just came as any man, but came looking like an Israelite man, okay, so-called Negro, right? which is actually how the angels actually look in the scriptures, and how the angels, appear unto our people in the scriptures. And that you can even go to the birth of our Lord Yahushua, when the angel Gabriel appeared before not just Mary but also Joseph as well, right? You can go to the book of Tobit, when the angel Raphael was going on that journey with Tobit's son Tobias in the book of Tobit in the Apocrypha, or the two angels that came to Abraham that before they went to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, and none of them looked like these biblically quote unquote so-called biblically accurate angels, right? But of course, this depiction of biblically accurate angels is because of Esau's misinterpretation of certain precepts. Like, say, for example, when it comes to the chariots, okay? And that is in the book of Ezekiel. Let's go to that, right? Let's go to that. Because that's where the misrepresentation actually comes from. Because Esau, Edom did not understand the description, the difference between a description of an angel and a description of a chariot. And also I read that precept first, that the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, thousands of angels, even thousands of angels on Mount Sinai, right? Because the chariots can also be called or seen as angels in the scriptures, okay? When the scriptures talk about the Lord Yahushua being taken up in a whirlwind, it's of course referring to him being picked up by one of the chariots. But let's get this. So this is the book of Ezekiel 1 verse 4. And I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof as the color of amber, out of the midst thereof the fire. Right, so the cloud, once again, the cloud is going into the chariot. So as soon as you see these precepts and you hear about the cloud, right, that the prophet Ezekiel saw a cloud, this should already be your first guess or your first idea into knowing that, okay, this is talking about the chariots, okay, the vehicles in which the angels move around in, right? Let me get that precept. After all, it is not written that he maketh the clouds his chariots. And I've been thinking about this for a while, about how uncomfortable and awkward it would be if you are actually able to fly through the sky. So this is the book of Psalms 104 verse 3. Let me start from the top. Psalms 104 verse 1. Blessed be Yahweh, O my soul, O Yahweh my power. Thou art very great, thou art clothed with honor and majesty, who covereth thyself with light as with a garment, who stretcheth out the heavens like a curtain, who layeth the beams of his chambers in the waters, who maketh the clouds his chariots, who walketh upon the wings of the wind. Right, he maketh the clouds his chariots. So even a cloud can be disguised, or even a chariot can be disguised or hidden as a cloud. So when the prophet Ezekiel said he saw a cloud, that should already make you know that he's talking about a chariot. The same way that when Moses was going through the wilderness with our people, as the scriptures records that in the day they were guided by a pillar of fire, and in the night they were guided by a pillar of smoke. And let's get that precept once again. Let's just quickly go to that, right? Because our people don't realize that these UFO sightings they are seeing left and right, okay? Like I was saying, that these UFO sightings they are seeing left and right, and they're not actually unidentified flying objects or unknown area phenomena or whatever name Esau wants to attach to them, but rather what they are simply the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Rakakwadash, for the most part, because that Esau already started, mixing in, you're mixing his own technology, right, his own drone technology in order to create psyops. So let's continue reading. Ezekiel 13 verse 21. And Yahweh went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them by the way, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light to go by day and by night. And he took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. And if we go back to the book of Ezekiel, once again, Ezekiel 1 verse 4, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind come out of the north, a great cloud. Right. similar to the same cloud, which was a chariot, of course, that the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushua used to guide our people in the wilderness while we were walking through the wilderness to make it to the promised land, right? The land of Canaan, or rather the land of Israel. And continuing on, and a fire enfolding itself, and a pillar of fire. And what this fire represents is the chariots and how bright they are in the sky. That's why you're always seeing these floating orbs, because that's the new name that Esau is giving the chariots as well, the orbs, right? That's why whenever you look at the sky, whenever you see the chariot sightings, all you really see is just a floating orb. That's what Esau is. This is what the prophet Ezekiel is talking about here when he's talking about a fire enfolding itself, right? It's most likely talking about the ability of the chariots to manipulate their size. They can grow bigger, they can grow smaller, they can split up, they can join back together. They can maneuver themselves in the air, like they can maneuver themselves in the air in ways that Esau's modern technology is unable to. And that's exactly what the prophet Ezekiel was saying. Not an actual great cloud or a fire or anything like that, but rather a chariot. Okay. And now continuing on. And a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, out of the midst of the fire. Also out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man. Right, so basically what he's saying is that when the chariots came up, right, when the chariots came out, of the cloud, because it was hidden in the cloud, and it was hidden in the cloud, right, and when he could see, through the bright light of the chariot, because first it was hidden in the cloud, right, and it came out, and all he could see was the bright light of the chariot, and when the light dimmed, so that he could actually see inside the chariot and see who or what was piloting it. What did he say he saw? He saw the likeness of a man piloting the chariot. That's exactly what he's talking about right here. Because like I said, all the chariot is a quote-unquote spaceship, okay? That's where Esau gets his ideas for these UFOs, right? And these spaceships are usually seen in Star Wars and like Star Trek. The Millennium Falcon, that's based off a chariot, right? The flying saucer, that's based off a chariot, right? The Death Star, based off a chariot. Okay, the motherships I usually see in all these alien invasion movies, based off a chariot. All right, basically all that based off chariots, right? And usually angels flying these chariots, and that's why he's saying that, that's inside the fire, right? That's out of the midst of it came the likeness of 4 living creatures, and one of them look like a man, meaning that he saw 4 different, he saw the pilots of the chariots, 4 of them, and one of them looked like a man. So let's continue reading. Now Ezekiel 1 verse 6, and everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings, right? And the wings represent like the wings of the chariots, like the plane wings, okay, and the wings of the chariot. And the faces also represents the pilots of that chariot, because like I said, you have the mothership and the fathership, and you usually see multiple people piloting a single chariot. Like for example in Esau's media, like Star Trek for example, how many people are in the cockpit of I've forgotten the name of the Star Trek ship, right? But how many people are in the cockpit piloting the Star Trek ship? And it's the same thing with these chariots right here. So realistically, what Esau is calling a quote unquote biblically accurate angel, right? All it is, right, is just Esau failing to understand the description of the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is exactly what Ezekiel saw. And another prophet also saw these chariots, okay? Zechariah 5 verse 1. And look at how, and if you read through these the precepts, read through the scriptures, you see how the description of the chariots are always different, because you have chariots of different shapes and sizes, chariots that are able to manipulate their shapes and sizes. Zechariah 5 verse 1. Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. And he said unto me, This is the cause that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on that side according to it. Right. And this is of course representing once again the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, because that flying roll that the prophet Zechariah saw was the chariots. And now I want to get another preset just to show you that what I am talking about are the actual chariots of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, the spaceships, right? And I don't really want to call them spaceships because that's not what they are. They are the chariots of the Most High, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. This is the only one I want to look for. Okay, let me just get this one instead. Let me just get this one instead. Here it is. That is what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Right. So let me start from 2 Kings 2 verse 9. And it came to pass when they were gone over that Elijah said unto Elisha, Ask what I shall do for thee before I be taken away from thee. And Elisha said, I pray thee, let a double portion of thy spirit be upon me. And if you know about the story of Elijah and Elisha, then you know that Elijah he did not die, okay, and he did not taste of death, but rather he was beamed up by the Heavenly Father, by the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay. He was taken up by the chariots. He was beamed up by the chariots of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. In other words, that quote unquote so-called spaceship. That's the best way to say it. The so-called spaceship, not the living creature that looks like a biblically accurate angel, okay, but rather a so-called spaceship that was piloted by the angels of the Most High. And the reason I'm getting this preset is just to show you an example of these chariots, functioning, okay, as so-called spaceships. So now, 2 Kings 2 verse 10, and he said, Thou hast asked a hard thing, nevertheless, if thou see me when I am taken from thee, it shall be so unto thee, but if not, it shall not be so. And it came to pass, as they still went on and talked, that behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven, right? And the chariot of fire basically represents once again the UFO, the so-called UFO, the so-called UAP, which is the chariot of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, beaming up Elijah and taking him, into the spirit world directly, right, without him having to taste of death. And that's exactly what took him up right there. The chariot of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, not an actual physical flaming chariot that it's a chariot that's completely burning, and it also has horses that are completely burning. No, this is Elisha describing what he saw, okay, and what he saw was the chariot of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, so-called UFOs, so-called UAPs, okay. Now let's continue reading. Now, 2 Kings 2 verse 12, and Elisha saw it, and he cried, my father, the chariots of Israel, and the horsemen thereof. And he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes, and rent them in two pieces. Right, the chariots of Israel, Marakab Shal Yasharala. And the reason why he said the chariots of Israel is because even then he knew that what he saw was the deliverance of our people, because that's exactly what these chariots represent, okay, the deliverance of our people, how our people will be saved in these last days from the destruction that is coming upon the earth from the hell that is about to be brought up, the judgment that's about to be brought upon this kingdom, the chariots of Israel, the deliverance of Israel, Marakab Shal Yasharala. Okay. So now let's go back to the book of Ezekiel. And now it should already start making more sense what Ezekiel is going into when he talks about the things that he saw. So now Ezekiel 1. Okay, I already read this part. And everyone had 4 faces and everyone had 4 wings, which of course represents the wings of the chariots and the pilots in the chariots. So now Ezekiel 1 verse 7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet were like the sole of a cow's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass. And this is, and this is actually showing you that he's actually talking about a spaceship, right, rather than the actual physical creature or an appearance, because here he says that their feet were straight feet, which if you look at the let me just Google it so you can see it. And this shows you that Esau knows exactly what the chariots are, but he'll still create this stupid idea of a biblically accurate angel as a stumbling block for a lot of you dumbasses to actually think that this is what he's referring to as a chariot, because Esau knows that the UFOs are actually, and the so-called UFOs Salakia, are actually the chariots of the Most High Yahweh Basham Yahshai, but he's still messing around with you by making these big depictions of what they call it, of biblically accurate angels, in order to sow more deception and to be a stumbling block for a lot of you jakes out there. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is exactly what this is it right here. This is a good example of what the prophet Ezekiel was talking about. He said that the feet of the chariot. Okay, this is a good description of what the prophet Ezekiel was talking about, right? When he said that the feet of the chariots were straight feet, it means that basically the landing pads that are being used for the chariot, right? And he also said that they were made of brass and extended like a horse's hoofs. Let's get that right. So now Ezekiel 1 verse 7, and their feet were straight feet, and the sole of their feet was like the sole of a cow's foot, and they sparkled like the color of burnished brass, right? The sole of a cow's foot. And if you look at a horse's foot, right, which is basically, I think it's a hoof, right? It's not really a hoof, right? Like a horse's hoof, but it has a hoof with toes, and it is it's similar in appearance to this right here, right? Basically what Ezekiel is describing here is the landing pads of the chariots. So let's continue reading. And they had the hand of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, and they 4 had their faces on their wings. Their wings were joined one to another, they turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward, right? Because the wings were stationary. That shows you that once again this is talking about an actual aircraft rather than a biblically accurate angel, right? With bird wings or anything like that, right? Because like the same way you see the wings on a plane does not turn or move when it is flying, it's the same way that the wings on the chariot don't turn or move. Okay. And this verse 8, I didn't really go into it because this is more of a description than anything that is actually that this is more of a description. Like the wings looked and the wings looked like the hands of a man under their wings, right? So they had that, I was basically saying, and they had the hands of a man under their wings on their 4 sides, basically saying that their wings look like, and you still how the wings on planes look now. You know how the wings on planes look, especially some of these older planes. Let me see if I can get that right, because what he's describing is basically, let me see if I can get that. I'm forgetting the airplane I want to use. If I can get it. Find some of these if you look at the way some of these older airplanes, especially the ones that had those four wings. And I'm trying to look for that one. I don't know the name of that aircraft. I don't know the name of that aircraft. The one that has four wings. That the one wings that all these World War I, World War II. Let me use that. Let me just use this instead. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about right here. This is what I'm imagining right here. Where the Prophet Ezekiel talked about the chariot having four wings and basically a man's hand under the wings. That's basically the support of the wings. Case in point, these supports that you see right here supporting the wings, right? So yeah, that's what that's going into. So basically, this is the, and you can also read the same thing in the book of Ezekiel, the 10th chapter, right? So what Ezekiel saw wasn't a, biblically accurate angel like this, for example. Oh, it's an ophanim. Oh, it's a seraphim. Oh, it's a cherubim. Even though those words are all Latin, and we're talking about, Hebrew Israelites angels right now, but you're using Latin words to refer to them, right? Like I said, the romanized version of the romanized plantation Christianity, and this is not how angels look according to the scriptures. Okay, this is completely off. And let's go back into, not this one, here it is, this one right here. And even when it does depict the angels as men, it depicts them as Edomites, which is off, right? Because once again, we are speaking of the angels of our people, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the scattered Israelites that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. And if those angels do appear as so-called Negroes and nothing else, not as Edomites, okay? Because aside from the fact that Esau Edom is suffering a condition that is called leprosy, which basically makes him abominable and accursed by the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. So the angels of the Most High Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, meant to represent holiness, would never appear in the form of an Edomite. And if you look at some of the color depictions of these biblically accurate angels, you see that they actually have blue eyes, right? Let's see. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. Right, if you look at the eye color right there, you see that he has more or less blue eyes because the color isn't really that great, right? Yeah, this is right here. You see that it has blue eyes, which is of course once again another form of leprosy, right? Which basically refers to the traits that Esau Edom has. So no, this is not a depiction of an angel. This is not what an angel looks like. So with that, I will end the video right there. Once again, all praises, honor and glory unto the Most High, Yahweh Ba'asham Yahshai, Ba'asham Rakakwadash, Wa Abad Baba, Shalom.